thanks guys for joining me today. We've got double trouble, 2 lenders right at the end of the day. Perfect. Hope you're ready. My name's Beth Fisher and I am from B&C Magazine, and I'm with
Sarah Milne from Puma Property Finance.
And
Daniel Murray from Octopus Real Estate.
Amazing, thanks for joining. First of all, tell me a bit about your company, Sarah, and give me a quick elevator pitch.
Oh gosh, we are a stretch senior lender. We lend across all property sort of asset classes in the UK, and we also provide, in addition to development finance, we provide pre-development bridges and development exits, which is quite a complementary product to go for.
Okay. And yourself?
Very similar. So we have been doing it for 10 years. We do everything from bridging, buy-to-let, refurb, development, commercial bridging, commercial term products. So we cover something across all kind of areas in the market.
How did you get into the market?
How did I get into the market? So a long time ago, I worked for a mortgage packager, and I saw all of these brokers making a good living. So I thought I'd give that a go myself. So I left and done my CMAP. I left in about 2007, 2008 for the company I currently work for.
Okay.
And then the market crashed overnight. So I was actually probably the least successful broker out there. I didn't write a single bit of business, and then I went and worked for an investment company.
Right.
And I stumbled across Octopus Investments at the time, who had a company called Dragonfly, and since then we've gone to Octopus Property and Octopus Real Estate, and so I was then employed by Dragonfly into kind of the bridging market, and I thoroughly enjoying it still.
Amazing. And your role's recently changed as well?
Yes, that's right. So I have just become head of sales for Octopus Real Estate, which covers kind of the whole sales team across the whole of England.
Perfect. And Sarah, how did you get into the industry?
I sort of stumbled into it, I think.
I think most people do.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you ever set out to be a development lender. I don't think anyone does anyway. About 6 years ago, I started at a corporate finance house for about a year, and then I went into mezzanine lending, which is very similar to what I do now, and I've been at Puma for about 5 months. But I much prefer the sort of stretch market and seeing the sort of bigger, chunkier deals, which is very much how I sort of came into my fascination to building places, really.
How are both of those markets? I don't know if both of you can answer this. The stretch senior and the mezzanine markets. How are they changed in recent times? So in the last 2 years or so.
I think they've definitely got more competitive. I think the stretch lenders are really pushing the boundaries and how high they can push up, because there is so little behind a stretch product that a mezzanine lender can offer.
Yeah.
But then again, a mezzanine lender does offer that tiny little bit more.
Sure.
But I mean, I think the stretch lending market has really expanded. There's a lot more competitors out there, and the price is being driven down. So, which is great for developers. If you're someone like ourselves, we're just competing against each other.
Yeah. How's the bridging market and the change in recent times?
Well, it's competitive, right? So we have everybody competing for there's a bit of a race to the bottom at the moment, which everyone's getting caught up in at the moment. People still need to deploy lots of money in a bit of an uncertain market, and that's been uncertain for quite a while now. So what people are doing is taking a bit more risk on board. So look, a race to the bottom, taking on more risk makes some lenders, ourselves particularly, a little bit nervous of that, getting caught up in that race at the moment. But so there's new lenders sometimes coming out on a Monday morning, which makes my job very, very difficult. So I really appreciate that for those of you that come out on a Monday morning with some money. But look, competition's healthy. It means that you have to keep up in your game, keep on your toes, and it just makes things a lot more interesting.
Absolutely. And I guess there's been a lot of new lender entrants in the space, but we also want to grow the amount of business that there is to go around. So we want to grow the introducer space. So what kind of words of wisdom or encouragement would each of you give to a new introducer who's looking at the specialist finance market for the first time?
Words of wisdom from myself. Well, if you're looking for me for wisdom, it's not. You're starting right in the wrong place. For someone coming into the market, is just look, don't make this job difficult. If you do the basics really, really well, actually the job's really, really simple. So if you're going to deliver something, make sure you deliver it. Don't be over promising and not delivering on that. So look, under promise and over deliver is always kind of a message, and just do the things that you say you're going to do. As soon as you make it complicated, it all goes out of the window, and actually start losing trust with your clients and lenders themselves.
I think particularly in this market is to be realistic. So for an introducer there, you ask is if it works on a base case, don't try and push the envelope too much. There's all sorts of people out there getting into an awful lot of trouble, lenders included, where they're just taking on too much. I think particularly in this market, you have to be a little bit conservative and have to say, look, this works for me, I'm going to run with this and not try and be a little bit greedy at the end.
Yeah, I think, and that's probably the number one question for an advisor is this product suitable for the borrower? And if you're doing around the rounds and you're going to a number of lenders and no one will do the deal and it's just one lender that will do it, is it probably a deal that's worth doing in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we've seen quite a lot of the same deals.
Absolutely, I'm sure we have, absolutely.
Final question, what one big change do you expect to see in 2020 and what one would you like to see in the market?
I would like to see lenders and developers alike being a bit more open-minded to the changes in technology and the changes in the sort of ways we build, the methods we use, and also the way we use technology within our systems, be it a lender or a developer. So that's how you source a site, how you use data, and being more open to acknowledging what that brings to a development.
Yeah.
So particularly, say, modular building, which I'm sure is a talking point in your house as much as it is in ours, and the risks that come with that, but also being open-minded to learning about new technologies and new methods and just saying, look, this is actually really efficient and actually long-term it's going to be better for us. And I think it's just being part of the conversation.
I think from my point of view, what would I like to change in 2020 is the stamp duty. We'd like to change. Look, I think it's on the tip of everyone's tongue. I think that, look, let's get this market transacting again. There's plenty of stagnant property out there. The market can be quite static at times. Let's see a little change there, and I think it makes things a lot easier, and we'll start transacting and make it much more fun again.
Amazing. Thank you both for coming in today. It's
No
been
problem.
really
Thank you.
helpful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.